Ladies and gentlemen, today, I want to talk to you about a truth that many women overlook but is one of the most powerful tools in your emotional arsenal: detachment. Now, I ain't talking about walking around cold, but I am talking about understanding your worth so much that you don't need a man to feel complete. See, men are naturally attracted to women who have boundaries, women who know their value and aren't afraid to detach when necessary. Today I want to share something powerful with you, something that can truly change the way you see yourself and the way others see you. It's about emotional strength, independence, and the undeniable attraction that comes from knowing your worth. You see, women who understand the importance of detachment possess a magnetic quality that draws men in naturally. Now, I'm not talking about playing hard to get or being emotionally distant in a way that hurts others. No, I'm talking about a healthy, confident detachment that comes from self-respect and self-awareness. When a woman is able to detach from the need for constant validation, from trying to control or cling to a man, she becomes an unstoppable force of natural attraction. Men are wired to respect strength, and when a woman demonstrates that she's not desperate or needy, she automatically shifts the dynamic. She shows that she's in control of her emotions in her life. That kind of confidence is incredibly attractive because it signals that she's secure within herself. She's not looking for someone to complete her, because she already knows she's whole. Detachment, in this context, is not about pushing people away or building walls around your heart. It's about understanding that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone else. It's about knowing that your value is intrinsic, not something that can be taken away or given by someone else. When women embrace this mindset, they stop playing the game of trying to earn love or approval. Instead, they walk in their truth, and that truth is that they are enough. Men can feel that energy, an energy rooted in self-assurance and independence, and it's irresistibly attractive. Because the truth is, genuine attraction isn't about grand gestures or superficial charm. It's about the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you deserve. When you're able to detach from the chaos of needing someone's validation, you radiate a calm, powerful energy that draws people in. Men sense that you're not easily manipulated by your emotions, and that you're not just chasing after fleeting attention. Instead, you're rooted in your self-worth, and that makes you stand out. Sometimes, women think that showing vulnerability or always being available is a sign of strength, but the real strength lies in knowing when to step back and prioritize yourself. Detachment teaches men that you're not a prize to be won or a puzzle to be solved. It shows that you're a whole person who values herself enough not to settle for less. This doesn't mean you become cold or unfeeling, it simply means you hold yourself in high regard, and that respect is what makes you truly attractive. When women detach healthily, they set the standard for how they want to be treated. They communicate that their happiness and peace of mind are priorities, and in doing so, they invite men to match that level of respect and admiration. It's a lesson in self-love and boundary setting, one that elevates not only your relationships but also your self-esteem. Because at the end of the day, women who can detach when necessary, who can walk away from situations that don't serve their well-being, are the women who command respect and inspire admiration. Men are naturally drawn to women who are not desperate but confident, not needy but secure. That's the kind of energy that makes men truly want to show up, respect, and cherish. And when women realize this truth, that detachment is a form of strength, they unlock a power that transforms their entire lives. They become the women who don't chase, don't beg, and don't settle, but instead attract the love and respect they truly deserve. Let me tell you something essential about the power of detachment, something that can elevate your entire approach to relationships and life itself. Detachment isn't about walking around cold or indifferent, it's about having a mindset where your happiness, your self-worth, and your peace of mind aren't dependent on external validation. When you master the art of detaching, you're not playing games, you're simply respecting yourself enough to not lose your identity in the process of trying to hold on to someone else. Too often, women get caught up in the trap of neediness, believing that their value is tied to how much a man loves them or how much attention they receive. That kind of thinking is dangerous because it turns your self-esteem into a fragile thing that depends on someone else's mood or actions. But when you learn to detach, you realize that your worth is already embedded within you, and no one can take that away. Detachment teaches you the importance of boundaries, knowing when to hold on and when to let go. It's about understanding that some things, some people, are not meant to stay in your life forever, and that's okay. Because detachment isn't about pushing people away, it's about not clinging when the time has come to let go. When you're emotionally attached to everything and everyone, you become vulnerable to disappointment, heartbreak, and unneeded stress. But when you detach, you create space for clarity, peace, and genuine connection. Men are naturally drawn to women who exhibit this kind of self-control because it signals strength. It signals that she's not desperate or needy, but confident and secure. They sense that she values herself enough to not settle for less than what she deserves. This sense of self-assurance is magnetic. It's almost as if she's saying, I know who I am, what I want, and I won't compromise my peace to chase after something that isn't right for me. That kind of attitude commands respect and admiration because it's rooted in authenticity. Men are attracted to women who aren't trying to manipulate or control the situation. They're attracted to women who are comfortable in their own skin, who don't chase after love but attract it through their confidence. When you detach, you also protect your emotional well-being. You're not putting your happiness in the hands of someone else, which means you're less likely to be hurt or disappointed. Instead, you're focused on your growth, your passions, and your peace of mind. That internal strength is what makes you irresistible. Because women who can detach know that their happiness isn't something to be found outside, they carry it within. When women embrace this, they stop playing the game of constantly seeking validation or approval. They walk in their truth, and that truth is that they are complete and whole on their own. That's the energy that makes men sit up and take notice because it's real. It's not a facade or a game, it's genuine confidence. Men respect women who don't need to be chased or begged for affection because they see that she's already fulfilled. She's not rushing, not chasing, and not desperate. Instead, she's standing firmly in her power, showing the world, and especially men, that she values herself enough to not settle for anything less than she deserves. That's the essence of true attraction, being authentic, being strong, and knowing when to detach for your own good. When women truly understand that, they unlock a level of confidence that not only attracts the right people but also elevates their entire lives. It's about walking away from what doesn't serve you, not out of anger or resentment, but out of self-love and respect. Because once you embrace detachment fully, you realize that your happiness and peace of mind are your responsibility, and that realization alone makes you incredibly attractive. When you develop the ability to detach, you begin to see relationships and life through a different lens. It's not about becoming distant or unemotional, it's about cultivating a sense of inner strength that allows you to remain centered regardless of external circumstances. This kind of emotional independence creates a sense of calm and confidence that naturally draws people towards you. Men, in particular, are intuitive creatures. They pick up on energy and subconscious cues more than we realize. When they sense that a woman isn't desperate or overly dependent on their approval, they instinctively respect her more. This respect isn't superficial, it's rooted in genuine admiration for her self-assuredness. Men are often attracted to women who have their own passions, their own goals, and their own sense of fulfillment because it signals that she's not just waiting around for someone to define her life. Instead, she's living her life fully, with or without a partner. That kind of independence is magnetic because it reminds men of a woman who is complete in herself. It's important to understand that detachment doesn't mean emotional coldness or indifference. It's about creating healthy boundaries and not allowing your emotional well-being to hinge entirely on someone else's actions or words. When you detach healthily, you're able to love without losing yourself, to care deeply without sacrificing your self-respect. You recognize that your happiness isn't contingent on someone else's presence or approval. Instead, you cultivate happiness from within, which makes your energy more stable, more attractive, and more genuine. This stability reassures men because it shows that she's not someone who swings wildly with every mood or situation. She's grounded. When a woman masters this form of detachment, she stops chasing after love or validation, and instead, she attracts it effortlessly. Her confidence becomes a silent invitation for others to respect her boundaries and appreciate her worth. Men sense that she's not needy or clingy. They see that she values herself enough not to settle for anything less than she deserves. That's the kind of woman who commands respect without demanding it. The beauty of this approach is that it shifts the dynamic from one of desperation to one of mutual respect. Men are naturally drawn to women who are secure in themselves because it's an attractive trait that signifies strength. When you're detached in a healthy way, you're not pushing people away, you're simply not relying on them to fill a void within yourself. You're complete, whole, and happy on your own, which makes your presence more powerful. You're not trying to impress or manipulate, you're simply showing up as your authentic self. This authenticity resonates deeply because it's rooted in truth. Men can feel that authenticity, and it's far more compelling than superficial charm or empty gestures. When you detach, you also protect your peace. You're less likely to be swayed by drama, manipulation, or emotional turbulence because you're grounded in your own self-awareness. That peace of mind is incredibly attractive because it radiates calm and certainty. It's a quiet confidence that can't be faked, and it's this confidence that makes women truly irresistible. As you continue to cultivate this sense of detachment, you realize that you're not just attracting better relationships, you're also creating a life that is aligned with your highest self. You're setting standards for how you want to be treated and showing others that you're not willing to settle for anything less. This approach empowers you to live authentically and to attract people who genuinely respect and appreciate you for who you are. The more you practice detachment, the more natural it becomes, and eventually, it becomes a part of your identity, a reflection of your inner strength and self-love that shines through in every interaction. That's the true power of detachment. It elevates your life, your relationships, and your sense of self to new heights. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.